Okay, welcome back to DVD2. I'm Vince Stanzioni and you're watching Making Money from Financial Spread Trading. In the last section we went, or the last DVD, we went through talking about ShareScope and shares. We'll carry on with that. In this DVD also we're going to be going on to the internet and we'll actually be using ShareScope itself, so a little bit more hands-on in this section. So trading financial stocks and indices, FTSE and the Dow, still very popular with private clients, yet most of the clients don't make money, so that might be telling you something. I understand that most industries are correlated, and what do I mean by indexes being correlated? If the S&P 500 and the Dow goes down in the evening, you've got a very strong predictability that the UK market is going to go down in the morning. Now some people will say, oh, that's a great way for you to trade. You know, if the US is down, then you know the FTSE 100 is going to be down in the day, steam in there at 8 o'clock in the morning and sell it and make $1 million. Yeah, if only it was that simple, and if bookmakers basically weren't stupid. Markets now are 24 hours a day. So the FTSE 100 future, but the bookmakers make, and the DAX 30 is being traded all through the night. So as you see the S&P 500 go down or go up at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock UK time, you can bet the FTSE 100 and the DAX future is also moving that way as well. Right, so there's no huge gap that you can trade, and if anyone tells you there's an opportunity there, well, believe me, it might look good on paper, but it won't work in real life. Another thing, just quickly while we're here, is when people talk about betting up and betting down at the same time, you don't make money doing that either. Volatility causes most traders to lose money. You know, many have got the right trade, but their timing is a little out, so they get stopped out. And that's what happens to a lot of people with indices. They get the right trade, but they can't handle the day-to-day swings. Simple solution to that: smaller trade, bigger stop. You can also look at options as well, and I talk about index options in the workbook. Most of the time, as I say, stock indices tend to be dull, and as I say, that's where a lot of your stop outs happen. Obviously, when we get a strong trend, that's where we can make money. The other thing that most people are doing is they're making far too big a bets for their capital. So they're doing like £10 or £20 a point, when you've got to realise £10, £20 a point when an index is 3,000 is one level, and £10, £20 a point when an index is 15,000 is something else. So just let me just go through that again. A market which is trading at 3,000, the whole index is 3,000, and you're doing £10 a point, fair enough. An index that's trading at 13,000 and you're doing £10 a point, it's a lot bigger trade, because an index that's at 13,000 will move 200-300 points much easier than a market that's trading at 3,000 points. So just be wary of the bet size. Okay, back onto the presentation. Financial stock indices, they can be profitable, and as I say, I've got no problem with you trading them, but as I say, don't just trade the Dow, the FTSE, the S&P, because as I say, they're correlated. What would be better is trade the S&P, gold, dollar index, rather than the DAX, Dow, S&P. Why? Because they're not correlated. Gives you more, spreads your risk. This is one of my favourite markets, the FTSE 250. You can get the charts off the internet and in ShareScope. And again, I don't hear many people talking about the FTSE 250. It's the one below the 100 basically. And you can spread trade the FTSE 250 just as easily as you can the 100. Right, what I'd like to do in the next 20 minutes or so is basically show you how I use ShareScope. I've got ShareScope loaded up here. Just to explain, I use ShareScope Pro or ShareScope Plus. This is basically, it's an end of day system. So the prices that we're looking at, these are actually the prices for last night's closing price. Now you can get real-time prices or whatever, but for charting and for our decisions on whether we're going to buy or sell something, we look at the closing price. Every share that you can see now, and I'll flick through them, has either made an all-time high or a 52-week high.